Back there. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Tonight we are going over The Wire, our rewatch, okay? Season 5, episode number 5. All right, guys. And that episode is called React Quotes. All right, as you can see going across the screen, we have the quote of the episode, which is just because they're industry doesn't mean they lack opinion. That's by our guy, Gus, aka Haynes. Let me get my girl up in here and let's get this party started.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. How is it going?
Okay.
All right. What's up, Michelle Wadler and Big Wolf Status and Demarcus and Rashonda? All right, so let's get into it because this episode was really, oh my god, especially to me, especially when it came to that Scott. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk about this freaking idiot.
With his lion behind.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, just disgusting, just gross. Okay, so anyway, guys, you saw what happened last week, right? We our guy Prop Joe was gone. All right, so the episode starts off with Marlo meeting with Vondas, and Vondas tells Marlo that Prop Joe will be missed, and he also tells Marlo that he liked Joe, like he was a hard man not to like, but Marlo just says, tomorrow, tomorrow ain't promised to no one. So in the meantime, let's move on. Like he just showed no remorse or anything, such a jerk. Okay. And then so as they're continuing on with the conversation, Vondas gives Marlo a phone to contact him on, and Marlo was like, I don't give, I don't talk on the phones. And Vondas is like, listen, you can talk on the phone to order lunch, you can talk on the phone to talk to your lawyer, you can talk on the phone. Like he was trying to explain to him, like, I mean, come on, Alice, let's not take it that daggone seriously. You can talk on the phone, you just can't talk business on the phone. And he was like, oh, okay, well, Joe taught me that. So anyway, like he was showing him that when he contacts him, he was showing him what, I guess, what to look for, whatever. And that was that. So after they leave, you got Marlo walking, got a little pep in his step and everything. To Chris, you feel like you got a crown on your head because that's what I'm wearing. So clearly, Marlo feels like with Joe out the way, he's definitely the king. And he wants to celebrate by going to AC, but Chris tells him that this is not the right time to play around. Like, we cannot play. You already know that Omar is out looking for us. Plus, you already made your little move, and I need to go tell my family that I'm about to lay low for a little while. So, Moochie, you have anything to say about this scene and with Vondas? If you're there, hun. Okay, so Moochie
I was
probably.
gonna say this
Oh.
is when I was so pissed off with Marlo as far as his movement.
Mm-hmm.
Because and then you wanna act as if you're a kingpin because the way you use the violence.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Right.
like I don't think it was a crown that was well earned. That's how I feel.
Heck no. Definitely was not well earned. Okay. All
hmm
right. So what's up, RC? And what up, Marlon Easton? Did I say what up to you already? Um, Marlon Easton says R.I.P. to Prop Joe and R.I.P. to Robert Chu, the actor who played him. He passed away some
Yeah,
years ago.
he passed away
Yes,
too.
it was sad because I was watching the guy that played I forgot his name, but on he was the bad, the white boy from season 2, the son of Uncle,
hmm
was it Uncle Frank, I think.
Right.
He was, the son of him. What was it, Iggy or something, Ziggy?
It,
So
it, it was Ziggy, the,
yeah.
the the short one.
So Ziggy, I think that his son, the son that was just a hot mess.
hmm
So the
Right.
actor who played him had posted something on Twitter. Remember one time he responded to something that I said? Like, I was not like,
I remember that.
yeah. And so he was like, he posted something about Robert Chu and everything. And I was like, oh man, like I replied that it's crazy because we're about to come up to that scene that episode where he passed, where he's deleted. And I'm like, that makes it, when you know that a character died in real life, that makes it a little harder to watch.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. So also we have that McNulty. He calls Alma with an update, right? On the serial deleter, and he tells her that the Merkins are sexual in nature. Okay, so she tells Gus, and he tells her to write what she has. All right, so we will get back to that soon. Also, guys, we have Dookie. Oh my gosh, who pretty much gets jumped. Okay, all because Kennard is a freaking troublemaker, and this whole thing goes
Hmm.
down in front of Bug. Like Bug is just standing there. And what how'd you feel about this, Moochie?
I
Look, I
thought
just
it
want to
was,
punch this kid. I just really want to kick him right in his forehead, nose,
it's not even
everything.
him. It's Kennard. I want to beat his little ass.
No, I know, I really do too. But this right here just annoyed me because it's like you're co-signing what this little guy did. It was a
Hmm.
whole troublemaking type of situation. He got ignored. He said, "Oh, you think you all that, right?" And so Dookie ignored him, and he decides to throw like a soda bottle at him, and I
Hmm.
like that Dookie, pushed him down or whatever, and then you get a spider coming up in his face, and it was just like, for what? Like, you already know that you're basically bullying him, obviously.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then they all jump him. Like, why jump somebody that can't fight?
I know. What does that really prove?
It's just so stupid to me. But I was upset because I just feel like, if y'all know this is Michael's man and this is Michael's corner, why are you touching him?
And y'all his workers.
Right. So I just kind of feel like there's some type of violation here. And Michael tells Dookie that all he has to do is say the word, and I'm gonna mess them up good. And Dookie is like,
Hmm.
no, well, I can't keep letting you fight my battles and things like that. And that's when he takes him over to Cuddy or whatever, because he's like, listen, I need help. Help me. Help me to box in these streets. But back to that whole thing, like, I just feel like, ain't that some type of, how you listen, normally in the streets, I don't know how it is in Baltimore. Maybe y'all could tell me, whoever's in Baltimore, you could tell me. But normally in the streets, in the hood, if you are related to somebody that is somebody that don't play, you normally don't touch their kin or like their close friends. So I'm just kind of confused as to why they thought that this was okay. So how did you, like, do you feel like that was kind of like a little, I don't
I feel
know.
like it wasn't okay. I feel like dude, uh, fighter should have got violated too,
Mm.
or Mike should have said something to him, even if he didn't put hands on him.
Yeah, I feel like Mike should, off the strength of, just because, like, if y'all, that's like going at my brother, and if y'all my workers, y'all should know better. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like even without Dookie giving the okay, I know he want to respect Duke, but it's like, it don't matter. Y'all violated me at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? That's how I
Right.
feel Michael should have handled the situation, but whatever. All right, so but I like Kennard getting pushed down. I ain't gonna lie. Mm-mm.
He should have got more than pushed down. It's
Yeah,
bad
should have
line.
got stomped. RC said, I wanted someone to deal with the bootleg Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis, yeah, me too. So, guys, Marlo gives Levy his cell phone number. So, in this scene, we see Chris and Snoop, they up in there, because they had some cases pending, or they got, were they thrown out or something like that? The little cases with the whole, that situation with the them finding the weapon inside the glove compartment, the secret compartment, and stuff like that. What did
No,
they
it
say?
didn't get thrown
No,
out.
it got postponed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is, postponed. So they gotta find somebody. He suggests that they find somebody, because the person that they registered to, they was like, you can't, she can't take no charge or whatever. So they was like, well, you need to find somebody that's gonna take charge. Okay, so after they leave, Marlo gives him, like, I think a check or something, to say something about clean money or whatever. And he said, when you get that settled, call me, right? And he said, how do I do that? So he gave him his number. he gave him his number, and
Mm.
that, yo, when he left, because I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I wonder how Levy really feels about Marlo. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, for him, it's like money is money. But I wonder if he really thinks Marlo's like a little scumbag or whatever. So when Hurt comes in, he's like, oh, I can't stand that little. I don't know what the freaky. What did he say, douchebag or something? I don't
Something
know.
like that.
So you hate him.
Mm.
So he's like, "Oh, don't worry, be generous or something." He said, because I got a feeling that we got a big payday coming in, right? He tells Herc that if Marlo is using a cell phone, it's just a matter of time before they're litigating a wiretap case, okay? And he says Joe gave him to us just in time. I was like, "Oh my gosh." A mope. Oh, he said he called him a mope. Okay. So did you want to say anything about this? Just of course, stay right here.
When I seen him come right in there, and I watched him walk past Herc again,
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, okay, he's watching him, he's seeing him spend all this time in here, and he's
Mm-hmm.
seeing, well, this is his client. This is his client for real, for real.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I like I like, I wanted to see where it goes. So I'm like
Mm-hmm.
anticipating and hoping that this will work out for Freeman and them.
Right. What's up, Renee? All right. So let's see where else we're at. Okay, so also we see that Dookie pretty much sucks, right? Like he just sucks at boxing, just pretty much every daggone thing, but Cuddy is telling him, so, somebody like Michael, a kid like him, like I could do something with, like I all I know is the streets and how to fight. So if he sees somebody with potential, it's like that's what he could work with. But somebody like Dookie, he just can't. Like I just don't. All I could do is wish you well. Basically, I mean that's kind of what what I got out of
Mm.
what he was saying. Like you got to
Yeah.
have some other kind of skills, and I wish you well. But there's a whole nother world out there that you could tap into. But I just don't know how to tap into it. I was like, ooh, it's kind of
Yeah,
sad
I feel
and
like he
scary.
spoke to him for his own good, because if he starts fighting back
Mm-hmm.
and he's not that great with his hands at all,
Right.
this could be crazy for him.
Yeah, of course. I'm definitely not saying he wasn't speaking to him for his own good. I'm just saying it's kind of sad and also scary that Cuddy is someone that the neighborhood kids go to have like an outlet, have a place to go to stay off the streets. But when someone like him, Dookie, goes, who doesn't have a certain that a skill set, he can't fight, he can't shoot, all of that. What's up, Brillo? And all of that, right? It's like you need someone else, right? Somebody else, like this should have opened the door to having somebody else that Cuddy could like refer them to. Like, you know what, I can't help you because I really help street kids, but this is somebody that can help you, you know what I'm saying, with like science, or when to use your head, you know what I mean, to
Let me
use your
ask you
brain,
this.
working stuff, you know what I mean, because this right here, maybe somebody could help sign you up to go to the military, you know what I'm saying, like we need
Right,
more resources, not just
right.
you teaching the kids how to fight and stuff like that and stay off the street. Sorry, go ahead, what you gonna say?
I was gonna ask you, do I wish Cuddy could have reached out to COVID and
Yeah,
talked to him for this boy.
that would have been smart because it's not like they didn't have no connection. You
Right.
know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I feel like with that's basically what I'm saying. With Cuddy, he needed to take this opportunity to see, well, you know what? I need to be able to pass on a child to someone else that can help. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
if you in the hood to help, you got to know, of course he recognizes where he can't help, but then you got to recognize and say, okay, well, I know somebody who can, and here's the number, or I'm gonna call them up for you, and that's how we gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
that system right there, that you can't just let a child go by the wayside like that. So,
Mm-mm.
but that's that, y'all. Not just athletic. Exactly. Not just athletics, because it's way more
Mhm.
to that. There's a lot of kids out there that they can't get, they're just not good at nothing like that. No fighting, no athletics, nothing physical, but they got a mind, that they're good at. And so it's like you gotta figure out the resource for that. All right. So
Right.
now
What's up, Brillo?
we got Alma and Scott, right? They
Mhm.
go and talk to McNulty. She first of all, she brings Scott out with her. And they go and meet McNulty and they tell him that, oh, we're going to both be working on a story. So first McNulty was like, I don't want everybody at the newspaper knowing my name, And then Scott tells McNulty that like he has to give them something different if he wants the story to fly, like something
Right.
with a twist. And I'm like, you know what, even though I don't like what's his name, Scott, he has a
Mhm.
point. He has a point, all right. And so where was I? I'm sorry, folks be starting to talk like they don't really give a damn if I'm on live. So he was like, all right, you need something. He's a freaking biter, all right. And so last week when I was saying I wonder what they're gonna do with the teeth, I remember I said I think is they gonna be biting. So clearly that's what it was. All right.
Mhm.
It's a biting situation. Did you want to say anything about this scene? Yes, please hit the like button.
I I still feel like Scott is a jerk though.
Yeah, of
He's just
course.
you know.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up,
I feel
Denise?
like I feel like he's a jerk. Him he's a jerk. So
He's a jerk. He's a jerk. But listen though, they pay for his tab and they like, listen,
mhm.
we still got a chance to make the second half, whatever they called it, the second quarter, whatever they call their stuff, right? And so they didn't stay. And the next day we saw that it did make like what the front page or something like that.
Yeah,
Front,
not the
yeah,
front
front
page. It was
second
like a
page.
couple of pages in,
Because I
and
was
it
gonna
was
say,
gaining traction. Once again, McNulty steals a damn paper with a sheet behind.
yeah, because I was looking, I'm like, is that the front? I'm trying to see, did he flip around? It just looked like he kind of just flipped it over once or whatever. But regardless, it was not 12 spaces, 12, whatever they say down. It was up there. All right. So now we also have Gus who sends he sends Scott out to talk to the homeless for react quotes, right? Which is the name of the episode. And
Mhm.
Scott was like, where do I find homeless people? And Gus says, not at home, I could imagine. I was like, wow, he is too sarcastic with him, but you can tell that he's just
Because he
over
knows
him.
he see right through him.
Yeah, you can tell he's so over him because he's just I don't even want to look at his face. So if you don't mind, we can move on if you want.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Okay.
Let's get his little skinny lips out of the
Yeah.
area, and let's talk about some other people. Hey, Eric S.
Hey Eric, what up, Tim? Oh my gosh. Okay, so
His
Mooch,
little
right?
tiny lips, his little thin lips.
Yeah. Paper thin. All right. So,
Hmm.
guys, Daniels tells Carcetti, right? Because now at this point, it's all in the paper. So now they done take it, they done took it up the chain, honey, because um who said who Jay McNulty goes in and he's all like excited and telling Jay like, did you see the paper and all this? And Jay is just trying to sleep. He don't give two craps and all of that, but he did let it be known that this has been taken up the chain. And so Daniels is meeting with the mayor and all this crap. So now we got Daniels talking to Carcetti, and he's talking about this whole serial deleter type of situation. And he's saying we need more manpower to work the homeless M cases, right? And Carcetti says I can spare overtime for 2 detectives. Like it's just sad, like that he can't spare nut. He literally can't spare a team out here. Like it's just crazy. And when Daniels tells Carcetti that a case like this needs more than that, period, right? And Carcetti tells him that like he's dealing with the crisis at the
Hmm.
schools in which like it's being threatened that 50 teachers could possibly be laid off or fired. And I'm like, what the heck is going on at the daggone schools? I mean, like I'm not to we're not trying I'm not trying to switch over to talk about that, but I'm just like, what is happening? Didn't we fix that issue? Isn't that the reason why there's no money going into the
The
police
police.
because
Yeah,
they're dealing with the
exactly.
schools? So what is the
Mm-hmm.
layoff happening about? What is going on here? But obviously this is upsetting to Daniels because he definitely prides himself in making sure that he does good police work. So, did you want to
Right.
say anything about this, Smooch?
You know what I want to say about this? You got to remember they was talking about them juking the stats and
Mm,
making numbers. So they trying to keep a close eye on it.
yeah. What do you
So
mean, like the with the school would keep a
I
close
was
eye on?
as far as with the school, it seemed like I'm like, how if you they got all of this money that there's
Hmm.
still problems.
Right. It's just whew, annoying.
And he didn't he go back, he didn't take the state money. So that's why all of these problems is still happening.
Right. He left it
Thank
on
you,
the
Eric
table.
asked. Yeah, because he left it on the table. So this
Hmm.
is like a whole trickle down effect because of what Carcetti has done.
Right. Mm. So yeah, because he left that on the table, I guess what they're using their own money to fund the schools and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But they need to do something. They need a better balance or something, honey, because it ain't working. Mm-mm-mm. All right. So next we got Herc coming to Carver saying, this is your old partner. I'm coming to give you a gift, so however I pissed you off back in the day, remember that I did this for you, right? And this is
Yeah.
Marlo's cell phone number. And we're gonna move on because obviously this goes further. So there's not really much to say. But did you want to say anything about just him giving his old partner, you know what I'm saying, still trying to look out?
I thought he was trying to redeem himself by doing that.
Yeah.
I thought he was trying to redeem himself. And here's a little peace offer.
Right. Hey, Eric Iverson, what's up? Thank you for the super chat. He says, "What up, chatting ladies? Been a minute. Did
Hey.
everyone miss me? Did you miss me?
Hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did.
Hi, Little Rock.
Hi,
Thank you
little
again,
Rob.
Eric, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. No state money and test scores have to go up, or that's the excuse for teachers layoff. Yeah, that's what that's actually, thank you for saying that, Renee, because they were actually telling that story through Bug. Like they had Bug really like explaining everything, and even the teachers are out telling the kids that they could get fired if they don't pass the test. Remember,
Wow.
that's what Bug was telling Dookie
That was
before the
what Bug
whole
was
jump
telling
off.
Dookie before all that happened. That's
Yeah.
right.
And I was like, wow, this little boy pretty articulate too, telling the whole shebang. All right.
Hmm.
Now let's see what else we got. Okay, so now guys, oh my gosh, I couldn't deal. Like, I don't like hearing him speak. All right. And I don't know if it's because I feel like he's always complaining about something, but when he goes on a rant where he's complaining, I'm just like, oh, shut up. Like, I don't even want to hear it. He reminds me of freaking Cleveland Brown and nine down, down. Anyway, let me shut up. Um, he's definitely Cleveland Brown, okay? But I've seen him act in other things, and he doesn't bother me. It's just this character for some reason, like he irks me so bad. Now let me leave him alone, okay? All right. So he is telling, this is Clay. I really feel stupid for even doing all that just now. So he tells me,
Why?
I don't know. Listen, I be acting silly around you guys, but sometimes I really am embarrassed because I act silly like this in front of my family and people that I'm close with. But I guess you guys are like my family, but there's people that'll come through that'll just be watching like, what is wrong with this girl?
No, get on
Renee,
in the fun with us. That's what they need to do.
that's true. Renee said, "Leave Cleveland."
No,
Exactly, he did it, and he did it the longest he ever did
she.
throughout this whole series. That was the
Yo, and I was
longest.
trying to figure out how she kept a straight face
Yeah,
when he did it that long, because he was like, she.
yeah, like it was a long fart or something. One of them long, unexpected farts, like.
Where it lingers.
Oh gosh, we be acting up
I
every
was trying to figure out how that girl kept a straight face the whole
right,
time.
exactly.
And just a FYI, I would like to know how many takes did it take for them to
Yes,
actually do that scene.
exactly.
And she kept a straight face, yo.
Yes, she just kept that face like, boy, stop playing. You're annoying me. It was good. All right, so let's get back into business, guys. I'm sorry. We got to act up every now and then. Woo.
Hmm.
So he is telling Nerese, being and moaning, okay, telling her that all the people that they put in every city department, he tells her to tell them that he is not going to fall alone, right? And Nerese tells Clay that if he carries this for all of them, like as far as you can, you'll be taken care of, just the way she told what's it, Burrell, like
Hmm.
you'll still have connections and all of this stuff, and you will be back around before you know it, right? And so,
Yeah.
like I said, it's just another situation where she has to convince one of her soldiers to stand down, and go quietly. Stand down and go quietly. This really shows that Nerese got her hands in some dirt, child, because she be trying to get these ninjas to be quiet, like stay quiet, because if not, we're
You know,
all
this could
gonna
go
stop.
sideways, you know?
Exactly. She definitely got her hands in some dirt. Mm. Okay. Thank you, Joe. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So, did you want to say anything about this scene right here?
Other than she.
Yeah.
No, I thought I like the way she tells them, like, you're gonna be taken care of later,
Yeah.
and she's
Hmm.
trying to assure him you're gonna be taken care of later if you go out without a fight
Right.
and cooperate with this whole thing. But if
Hmm.
not, this could get real bad for you as well as other people.
Right.
So he
And
could
it's
cause a trickle down effect too.
And it's like, you ain't gonna go away that long. You know what I'm saying? That's what she's telling him. You ain't gonna go away that long, and you'll be back doing the same old thing. And she said, look at Burrell, like he's gonna be making way more money than he was, before that, blah blah blah. So, she's painting the picture for him, and he's like, oh, she said, right, Senator. And he said, yeah. I'm like, mm-mm-mm. Go on, Cleveland. All right, guys, let's move on. So this scene kind of annoyed me. I do not like Monk. I have to let you guys, I got to repeat that. I don't like him. But he is wearing a vest, and they're kind of giving him a hard time about it. Like almost like looking at him like, why ain't he wearing a vest? And, Marlo was like, so you want this N-word to know that what, like, we're coming at we're waiting on him or something like that, he said, right? Yeah, that we're waiting on him. And he's like, no, but I'm just trying to be on the safe side, like I'm the only one that's basically like, I'm baiting the ninja, so everybody else is in hiding while I'm out here baiting him. And Snoop has something to say about it, like, so what of it, this and that, and he gonna be aiming at your head because I know I would, and all of this stupidness. But like I said, I don't like Monk, but it just seems like it was one of those moments where people uh look down upon, how we were talking about, if someone pulls out a gun on somebody, how they make fun of the person if they run. I feel like this is one of those kind of situations. But I know they were saying that if that dude, if I could see the vest, Marlo could see the, I mean, not Marlo, Omar could see the vest. So I get that part. I just didn't like how it looked like they was trying to look at him like, well, why are you wearing a vest? Like it was some punk-ish or something. I don't know. Maybe I was reading into it wrong, but it just annoyed me. But also by this time we know that Omar has been stalking outside of Monk's condo as well, right?
Right. And they
So
was trying to shame him.
yeah, okay, because that's what I got out of it.
Hmm.
So, but I think that's stupid though. Like he said, he made a great point. If I'm the only one that's out here, everybody else in hiding, and I'm the one that's like baiting them, why can't I take the extra measures to protect myself? Even though, like she said, he gonna be aiming at your head. Even though she said that, um, and she could have a point, but
She's right.
it's like still, why not? Could still freaking I could still have a vest on if I want. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Marlon Easton. What's going on here, guys? He said this is the second time she swayed my opinion. Who are you talking about, Marlon? All right. So, guys, we're gonna move on, okay? Because Michael, he's trying to teach Dookie how to shoot a gun. All right. And he just sucks. I already said this, poor baby. He's not for the streets, not for anything physical, not for nothing, but he wants to have a gun on him. And, he annoyed you. We already know Michael loves him, right? But he annoyed
Yeah.
Michael like, oh my, I don't know about annoyed, but he frustrated him like, oh my gosh, like, why do you want to do this? You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing for sure, if you think that if you're carrying that ninjas are not gonna try you still, they still gonna try you. And the thing about it is if you got it on you, you got to be ready to use it. You can't just have this thing and then if you pull it out and don't use it, like you have to be able to use it. I mean, we saw that in what's that movie? In Belly. Remember what was his name? Walik and Wise or something like that, how he
Hmm.
pulled out the gun trying to like intimidate and it only got him shot and killed. It was
Yeah.
like, if you're gonna pull it out, you gotta use it because now it just got used on you. Somebody used one on you. And
Right.
so yeah, but anyway,
I like
how,
the lesson that he was saying to him though.
like, as far as what the
I'm
whole
talking about with Mike.
mm-hmm,
He
about
was
what I was just
right.
saying.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was like, Dookie is discouraged because he's like, then what else? What am I supposed to do? What else? And he's like, you got other skills. You mad smart like that. You know what I mean? But once again, we need the resources because people could tell you that you smart all day long.
Yeah.
But if you ain't got no resources, then what? Anywho, all right, guys. So next we have Jay, who tells McNulty that they've been approved for 2 detectives to work overtime on the homeless deletions, as we saw with Carcetti in the meeting with Carcetti and Daniels. All right, and McNulty, he starts complaining about the surveillance cameras and extra equipment and all of this, and I was confused. I'm like, McNulty, why the heck? At the time, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna just fix it real quick. But at this time, while I was watching, I was like, McNulty, this is fake. Why are you fighting for surveillance and cameras and extra equipment? But then later on, I realized that they were gonna take that to use it for Marlowe. And I was like, okay, but it was just weird to me. Like, I know Freeman explained it because he even had to explain it to McNulty because McNulty was trying to figure out like how the heck we supposed to get a wiretap for one thing and then we wind up using it for something else. Like, how does that even work? So he wind up explaining that to us, and we'll get to that later. But is it okay for us to move along? Muji, are you there?
Yeah. Say that again.
I said, is it okay for us to move along from that
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
All right. So now, but at the same time, after this, right? Oh, this is what happened. Jay, when he tells him that when he tells McNulty that there is only 2 detectives that's gonna work the case with the homeless,
Hmm.
he takes Kima off of what she's doing and
Yeah.
has her work. I'm like, how does that work? That makes no sense to me. She's
Because they
already,
was prioritizing the cases. So
yeah, and that's
now
sad. So now
that
the
it's
white
getting the
homeless,
attention of the superior officers, now
hmm
they're And now you're saying it's a white homeless person?
Mm-hmm.
There you
So
go.
now the white homeless people take precedence over these three black folk that got deleted in their home. Okay. It's amazing, honey. Amazing. So, Bunk he's very pissed off by this because he's like, don't you see what your shenanigans are doing? Don't you see that you're a screwed up individual right now? Like, look at what's going on, right? Because he's not
Hmm.
happy that Kima was taken off of her Triple H. And so this he's basically telling McNulty, like, you come in drunk all the time, you up in your balls deep in random
Yo,
cookie.
he just was reading him to the T.
I know. He made him feel stupid because he walked out of there and McNulty just had this dumb look on his face and walked away, right? But he walked out there and he tells Kima, just continue to work your Triple H and I will do everything. I'll put in the extra time and all that. I'll cover you with the bosses and things of that nature, like just go on. He said, he also tells her to still take the OT, right? But
Yeah.
continue to work your Triple H. So I said, at least you got to do something good. You know what I mean? Because this freaking guy, I mean, he might as well work it by himself. It's a whole secret anyway, so he don't really care. It's really just him and Freeman, you know what I mean? So this don't even matter. Do you want to add on to anything or can we move on to
I'm glad that he checked him.
yeah.
I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
that he checked him. It was
Me too.
necessary.
Yeah, it was. Cause he's just doing too much. He's out here wilding
Right.
out. All right, so now we got this freaking idiot Scott. And he's on the street talking to the homeless folks and by the time he's getting nowhere, guys. I mean, he runs into this freaking guy who's obviously he's got a few screws loose, but me, I believe in what he was saying about the devil taking over and having people delete each other and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
neither here nor there. He goes back and uses this man's name and concocts a whole freaking story behind him, telling Gus that this was a family under the bridge. I said, how could somebody lie so freaking much?
I just don't get it either.
Yeah, I'm just like, because he went complaining, Gus was walking around getting all of these, good, getting good news from everybody that they've been out doing stuff. They're covering a lot of ground, making a lot of progress. And when he comes in, he got a bunch of complaints, but he said, Gus said, you're late, but I know you got something good, right? He's complaining. And then he said, oh, but I do have some good stuff. He comes up with this freaking story about, this man who feel like he can't protect his family. And the wife was stroking the blonde kid's hair. I said, this is insane.
Yeah,
Something
he
got to be
just the
wrong with somebody
lies
could
that he
just
be
lie.
telling.
Yeah, something got to be wrong with somebody that could just lie like
And
that.
then he sat there and made up names.
No, he that was this guy's name. Remember, he was like, my name is uh something Neil Leaves, Nathan Levy Bond, whatever the freak
Hmm.
he said. He gave him three names. That was his name, and so
Exactly.
that's the name that he uses. I had to rewind it because I was like, wait a minute, that's this dude's name. I said, let me go back. I know for sure I heard him say it, but I wasn't sure when he gave all these names and I heard him repeat the names to Gus. I said, let me rewind it because is that dude's name or was he just throwing out names? So this was his name because he was like, what's your name? And that's what he said, all of those names. I was like, man, something is wrong with him, child. Mm.
Hmm.
So we also have Clay Davis who goes on a radio station. Like he is doing a press tour in a way, like a press conference type of tour situation. That's what it looks like to me, right? Like he went last week's episode, he was speaking and it was like a perp walk situation. They were so upset about that they missed, the story. The son was upset that they missed the perp walk. He's doing a lot of press and so now he's on this radio station to tell folks that he's done nothing wrong. I'm not a criminal, and all of this, that, and the third. That people do anything to assassinate your character and all of that stuff. Did you want to say anything
Right.
about this little scene? Because they just really love throwing Clay
I
Davis down our throats at this point.
I felt like they was kind of dragging it out, but
Yeah.
I listened to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And he's basically trying to defend himself. So and
Mm-hmm.
actually rally people to defend him too as well.
Right.
So yeah.
um, I actually almost forgot this one here. So Carver brings a gift. He forwards the gift, okay, to he brings the cell phone number to Freeman, the cell phone number of Marlo to Freeman. And as soon as Carver leaves, Freeman calls the number right away to see if it's really Marlo. And he hears his voice and he's like, I want some of that pepper steak. I'm like, what is going on?
Yo, I laughed so hard when he did that because the accent he used, the Baltimore
Yeah.
accent, and the way give us some of that pepper
Uh-huh.
steak.
They know that pepper steak. He said, y'all didn't know what they got. Or whatever he said. What did he say something about take didn't know what they got? I said, oh my gosh, they are too hilarious sometimes. All right. So let's see what else we have. So then next, we got Freeman. He goes and tells Daniels that he got the number and everything, but he starts spazzing out on Daniels because Daniels can't give Freeman the manpower that he needs to work the case for Marlo, right? But
Hmm.
Cedric spazzes right back and he tells Freeman that he's done his job and gone up the ladder. He went up the ladder all the time or every time, especially on one of your cases and stuff like that. And then Daniel says that if a serial deleter can't bring back more than a couple of detectives, what does it matter that you have a freaking fresh phone number? And I, even after he spazzed and yelled like this, because Daniel Freeman was yelling at him like, take it to the mayor, this and that and the third, all of this. And we never see him lose his cool. And I'm talking
Mm-mm.
about Daniels. And when he did, you could tell it's just him being frustrated with this whole system. That's what I believe. Because he
He
is really
is.
laid back. And when he did it, you could tell he felt bad because he was just like breathing, like, oh my gosh.
Like
I,
I just lost it on somebody that I didn't want to lose it on.
exactly. You could just see it all over his face. But Daniels knew, I mean, not Daniels, what's his name? Freeman, he knew it. It was like, yeah, all right. Like,
He knew that he was stuck like a rock in a hard place.
yep.
So, you know.
Yeah, he knew that was that. If my guy is, he know that he can count on Freeman, which is probably why he spazzed out a little bit. Everybody's spazzing out a little because everyone is frustrated with what is going
Hmm.
on, and they don't want to see a guy like Marlo, who, like they said, who dumped 20 bodies on them last year, get away with this crap. It's crazy.
Exactly.
It made national news, they said, and here it is. They're not even following up on it anymore. They just straight up let it go.
Yeah.
Insane, yo, insane.
It's
Whew.
like they actually got away with doing what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're gloating about it.
Yeah, because they back on these streets just moving around like it ain't nothing.
Hmm.
Making moves, made a move against Prop Joe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just nothing. And speaking of that, I don't think we even heard anything about that. Like, I haven't heard them say anything. No cop said nothing about Prop Joe, did they?
Nope.
I don't remember hearing nothing. Mm-mm-mm. What's up,
They
Tamika?
didn't even mention that like they haven't found him.
Right, that's what I
So
was gonna say because they was Alma was talking about because she's now the senior cop reporter, and she was just talking about these M's, these random M's, you know what I mean? Something in a car, somebody in somebody's house, this and that. And I think she was naming a few names and nothing about no daggone Prop Joe. And I was like, oh, wow. So yeah. All right. So McNulty's ex-wife, she tries to warn him not to mess things up with Beatty. All right.
hmm.
And then Beatty winds up coming up to the station and she talks to Bunk and she's like, I just want to know where this thing is gonna go. Like, where's it gonna lead with him? I don't like giving up and things of that nature, but like what is going on? And as pissed off as Bunk is with Jimmy. He held it down for him. Like he did make an excuse for him, saying, "Oh, he's working the case, blah blah blah." She was like, "Don't give me that case crap, though." You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I ain't trying to hear it. But he did hold his boy down, even though he doesn't agree with anything that he's been
She came
doing.
near like basically that was like a cry for help
Mm-hmm.
what she did.
Right. That was random too. I wasn't
Hmm.
expecting that, but I mean, at the same time though, it may have been random, but you do gotta expect it, right? Because he don't be home. He
Yep.
don't even bother to go home. But that time when she left, he was like, he's not here. She was like, I know he's sleeping it off. He's sleeping one off, she said. I was
Hmm.
like, that's the only time you come home? Wow. It's
Yeah, he's
disgusting.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
His behavior is out of
it
control.
really is. It has to be really disgusting being with somebody like him.
Hmm.
Wow. And scary because you don't know if he could be picking up any diseases or nothing. Like he out here drunk,
Exactly. He just all
balls,
over the place.
balls deep and random. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
he's like a bunk said. So, all right. Speaking of balls deep, child. But well, I didn't mean to say balls deep. Speaking of
Hmm.
the
I bet you
nastiness of
did.
the sickness, the sickness and being scary of somebody who be going balls deep in random stuff. Bubs tells Waylon that he wants to get checked out. We know what he talking about, y'all. He's saying that,
Hmm.
all of he needs to know, he's got to know because now he's working around all these people. And Waylon tells him, that's not how it's passed around, but I understand. He tells Bubs that I tried to go to a clinic, but I couldn't walk in. He's like, I know it's hard. Waylon says, I know it's hard to do by yourself. So just give me a few minutes. And he takes him down there. They go and get him tested, and he's negative. But he can't believe it. It seems like he's not even happy.
I
Waylon is all
know
happy about it.
he
And
seems so upset, disappointed. He feels like he did so much that that should be his punishment.
right, right. That's a sad way to live, man. You know what I mean? Like you can't accept the mercy of God, like because you have so much guilt about everything that you've done that you can't even be thankful for mercy. Like it's really sad. Because if you stay stuck in that, then the only thing you ever want to do is die.
Yeah,
You know what
pretty
I'm saying?
much.
Like you don't. It's nothing else that you want to do. So it's almost like he was like thinking, well, at least if I have that, I know I ain't got to be on this earth too much longer. You know what I mean? And then
Exactly.
come to find out, he said that he was sharing stuff with his nasty freaking partner. What was his friend's name again?
John, was it white
John.
boy John? Yeah.
Disgusting behind. You knew he had the bug, the
I
monster, and you
know.
were still sharing needles with him. That's disgusting.
He said I shared work with him. I should be sick too.
Yeah.
Um, he just was like really beating up himself for
Hmm.
not suffering from anything. And it all comes back to Rashad.
Yeah. Because I think if nothing would have happened to Rashad, I think he would have been totally fine that he ain't got the monster. Totally fine.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But that
So,
was the way to his bottom. So
hmm so Jay, right? He tells McNulty that some goof called the Baltimore Sun claiming to be his serial deleter. So McNulty knows that this is a prank call, right? And he tells Jay like it's got to be a prank call. But Jay tells him to go down there and straighten things out. Go down to the Sun, straighten things out because you're the one who freaking started this mess. So when he goes down there, Scott lies through his freaking teeth about the quotes that the serial deleter left. And McNulty, he knows that this is bull, but he sees that he can use it as a way to get a wiretap. Like, look at McNulty's face when McNulty started asking more questions and stuff like that. Like, can I see the records for your cell phone and this and that? I was like, yeah, get him, get him, get him. Let this lie blow up in his face.
and then he was like, "Can I see your notes?" And they was like, "You
Yeah.
can't see his notes."
Yeah, they were saying no to everything, and it just makes me
Mm-hmm.
wonder because for some reason they be protecting Scott like crazy. It makes me
Yes.
wonder if it was a black person, would they have been saying no to all these things? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the way they protect Scott so much is like, was he hooked up with that job from somebody? Like, is this somebody's
Like
rich
who he
nephew?
know?
Yeah. I mean, I said rich nephew. Is this a rich man's nephew or something like that? Like, I mean, come on, because this too much protecting this idiot, this goof, like they say. But did you want to say anything about this horrible mess? So
It
ridiculous.
just sounded like a lot of like not nepotism, like they was really protecting him as
Mm-hmm.
far as when he asked for the note
Right.
and when he asked for like to see his papers, and they letting him know that it's property of the son, and you
Yeah.
know it's just
That sounds
ridiculous.
ridiculous. Yeah, that sounds
Hmm.
about white. Exactly. All right. So now let's see where else we're at because I just want to make sure that we didn't skip over anything. Um mm, 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 mm. Oh yeah, you know what? This is the scene when Omar, I'm sorry, this is when they realized that before he talked, before they came up with this plan, it was like the goofball Scott handed them
Hmm.
their plan on a silver like here you go, gifted. They didn't, because they already had this plan that they were gonna do like a little prank call from the serial deleter, but they were gonna get a new body, right, and make
Yep.
all of this stuff, and then the serial deleter was gonna have to call somebody and give all the details of the latest body, and that's how they were gonna try to get their wiretap. But luckily for them, you got a freaking little liar down there at the Sun who's also trying to help himself, and it worked out. So they over here like, yeah, we got it, we got it good. So they don't worked out a whole wiretap. This is not the exact scene, but they also showed us how they would connect. Like he Freeman was saying that nobody in this department ever hooked up a wiretap before, so they don't know what the heck is going on and where it's gonna go, right? But while I'm listening, you just let them know that you never heard another call come in again from the serial deleter. Like there's nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like stay on top of your reports, this and that and the third. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be listening on Marlo's phone. Thank you, Renee Hicks, for the super chat. I appreciate it. This is to help Freeman. Thank you. Help Freeman, help me. Yes. um so I don't know if you're saying that this money is to help Freeman or if this situation is going to help Freeman, that whole horrible mess of a lie that daggone what is his name made up. He is such a ugh. Let me get him off my screen, child. I can't deal with this freaking idiot. So now we're down to the final scenes, guys. And Omar and his men, they finally make a move on Monk just to be met with guns blazing from like Marlo's crew, right? We got Chris and Snoop and Michael and the other dude that played Rolla, but he got shot in his leg, so he was out for the count. Omar's man is deleted like
Yo,
immediately, practically. Go ahead,
they
Moochie.
waited all of that time for them to go in. They watched everything.
Yes.
It seemed like they was doing such a good
Yeah.
surveillance on Marlo's crew,
Mhm.
and it seemed like Marlo's crew knew they was being watched.
Yeah, they definitely did. Yeah, they definitely did. He said that though, right? During
Hmm.
that time when we were talking about the whole thing with Monk having the vest on, Chris came and said that he was out there all night or whatever, and he knows that he'll be back, right? He said that did he say he knew that he said he's all right, I'm trying to remember this. He said that he was out there all night watching um what's his name? Watching Monk's place, right?
Right.
Did he say anything about knowing that Omar was watching it too?
No, he didn't say that.
But
They
they
was
but they
just
pretty much
saying that
had the idea, right?
they was watching his security and
Hmm.
seeing who leaves with him, who comes with him, who goes with him, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Just
Omar
keeping
was
close tabs on him, but not close enough apparently.
right. No, Omar was definitely out there watching all day and night. And that's when the guy was saying, "You a patient man." And Omar says, "So are you." But I was saying that I feel like, I don't know if I heard it, but I feel like there was some type of indication that Marlo and them knew that Omar was watching somewhere, right?
Hmm.
And the thing about it is maybe they just didn't know where, because why not roll up on him and shoot him?
Exactly.
So I don't know. But so like I said, his boy gets to be quiet. Sorry guys. His boy gets deleted like really quickly, and this is Marlo just looking at him, and we uh on the other side of this right here, I said Marlo, Omar. On the other side of what Omar is looking at is the guy laid out, his eyes open, and a one to the head. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
that was pretty rough, right? I mean, as soon as it's almost like as soon as he came in, Snoop blasted him, but I didn't see one go to his head though. But it was so much bullets flying that it was
Yeah, it was so much
crazy.
action
Yeah.
where you couldn't see where who. Only person we knew definitely that got hit was
Hmm.
Marlo's boy that was screaming out that they told to lay down.
Right. They say stay
They was
down.
just
You
like,
know.
stay down.
Because we got to keep on moving with this one. So as Marlo sees that the situation is pretty much hopeless, he runs through a glass door and off the freaking balcony. All right, and they was like, "What the heck was that?" Like, because they look down, they don't see him on the ground,
Mm-mm.
and they just like, "What?" Like this dude was on some Superman, Batman, like some superhero crap. Okay. Do you remember how you felt? Do you think you could remember the first time you saw this episode, how you felt about the situation?
When I
Like this
seen him do,
freaking
I was
guy.
like, oh shit. Like when he went out that window. Of course I was like that.
Yeah.
Because you watching it and then all of a sudden you see him just dive out the window.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
And I was like,
insane.
Dad, he gonna be messed up. I'm like,
Yeah.
he gonna be messed up. And then
Is he?
when they pan down to the outside and he's gone, I'm like,
Hmm.
oh shoot, where he go?
Right. Right. Where
It
the
was like
heck did
he
he go?
disappeared.
Hmm. Yes. Um, let me see. Marlon said that Chris said it when they were at the okay. I thought I heard him say it, but I wasn't really sure. I wasn't sure if he was saying that they staked it out, or it
Hmm.
was what you know what I mean. But my thing is, why not end it? If you know that Omar is out there watching, you could have easily rolled up on him quickly. The way
Definitely.
they be ambushing people all the time,
Hmm.
they should have easily did that one. Anywho, Eric says I didn't like how Marlo wasn't aware of the impending ambush. You mean Omar? Um, so I thought this would be the last scene, but it wasn't. The last scene was an incoming. We got Freeman at his little station area. Freeman don't got a family or nothing, right? He ain't dealing with Shalonda anymore. Was that her name?
Mm-mm.
Cherie, whatever her name was, he ain't dealing with her no more because man, oh man. Yes, he meant Omar. Yeah, I be getting their names confused a lot too, Eric. So there's static on the wire. Like this is as Freeman is waiting to listen in on an outgoing phone call made from Marlo's cell phone. And all of a sudden he hears all this static and he's like, what the heck? Same reaction that Snoop had. Shardine, thank you, Marlon. Same
Hmm.
reason that Snoop
He's still with
had.
Shardine Freeman.
Yeah, well, he don't be giving her no time. Shoot. He be at that
Mm-hmm.
office all the time. So, what was I gonna say? All right, so made me lose my daggone train of thought. Shoot, shoot, shoot,
My
shoot,
bad.
shoot. I forgot. Oh, okay, it was nothing, but I was just saying that the same thing that Snoop said, um, the same thing that Snoop said when she was like, "What the," when Omar was just flew off the balcony like that. That's the
Hmm.
same exact response that Freeman had, you know? So, yeah. All right. But guys, do me a favor. Shardine is still with Freeman. All
Yes.
right. That means that you guys are giving me a spoiler. So just pump your brakes. You know what I'm saying? Just pump your brakes. Now, because obviously I haven't seen her yet, right? That means that she's going to show up later on, which shows that she's with him. Okay, don't do that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Now, that's not a big spoiler, but those are the type of spoilers that you guys be giving me. Answering my questions that don't need to be answered if it's a spoilerific answer. Okay. Now, we are finished. That is how the episode ends. We are on episode 5, Moochie. So we're gonna see how
Hmm.
this goes. We trying to get it done. Um, like I said, twice a week, so we could get over this, and I could stop running into these daggone spoilers. But thank you so much for being here again. What are you doing on your channel?
Um, I'm coming out with a theory video when in
Mhm.
time, and I'm also doing another thing. So keep your notifications on. I will be live tomorrow at 9:05 for the Shy and all the Queen's Men. I'll be live for in the next 10 minutes.
Oh, the next 10 minutes? You about
Whenever
to
we
go?
finish with this.
You about to go live in the next 10 minutes?
No, I'm just participating
Oh,
on
okay.
someone else's
I
channel.
was about to say,
So
wow.
yeah, it's not my thing. So
All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Eric S. It's okay. Apology
thank you for
accepted.
having me,
But
Miss
I'm
K.
actually glad that you did this very minor spoiler because that is I need to point out those kind of things. Okay.
Hmm.
But thank you once again. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Marlon Easton. Let me see. Renee Hicks was in the building. Daria, Tamika. We had Brillo, the big review up in here. Eric
Hmm.
Iverson came through. Big Wolf Status, Lil Rock. Okay, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. On Tuesday, we're coming back for The Wire. Be here at 10:05. Take care and be blessed. Bye bye.
Bye.